So as people flock online for their summer shopping, Dane Nicholson, chairman of the Jamaica Bankers Association's Anti-Fraud Committee, believes we may see a rise in triangulation fraud. And he joins us now to explain what this means and why shoppers should be wary.
Well, go on.
I'm good. Morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, it's our pleasure. As I said before I went, if you don't know about it, you're like me. What is triangulation fraud?
So triangulation fraud, simply put, is when fraudsters spoof, and spoofing is when you make something look like something. So they'll spoof a legitimate website and cause person to go to that e-commerce website to purchase purchase legitimate items, but the fraudsters will then purchase the item and ship it to the customers using the customer legitimate information and then use the information fraudulently. So let's break it down simply now. Let's say, for example, Amazon. Fraudsters will spoof Amazon website. They'll create a website look just like Amazon. I'll tell you some tips a little later how to identify the actual spoof website. But what they'll do, it look just like Amazon. Unsuspecting customer will go to the website. They want a pair of shoes. They search for the shoes. They put in their credit card number, expiry date, CVV, shipping address. The fraudsters now capture all of that personal identifiable information. Then they'll go to the legitimate Amazon website using the information they just captured to order what the unsuspected customer wanted, ship it to the customer, and then they'll utilize the information and mash up the card either. So they'll do it two ways. Sometimes the spoof website can also, they'll set it up that it can charge the card as well, and then they would also sell the information on the dark web or use it however they do.
So the first lick I get in what I order.
Yes.
And I think everything is...
So that is the new thing to it, because spoofing a website is not new.
So I buy 2 tie and I get the 2 tie, and I say everything nice, but then they now can use my card to do whatever
they whatever they want to do, exactly. That is it.
Oi.
So what oh my gosh.
Oi. Eh?
And I just joined the online shopping community, you know, now I forgot to come off.
No. You don't need to come off. All is not lost. No.
But what happens, well, you enter the information, which is how they obtain it. What are the potential consequences of businesses and consumers? I mean, people will, like what I just said a while ago, say, I'm not going back online with my card.
No. So some of the tips to identify it now, let's break it down. I'm going to do it from the consumer perspective and also the merchant perspective. So from a consumer perspective, financial institutions are utilizing what we refer to as tokenized credit card. And tokenization is just a simple process that they use to make your credit card information randomized. So it's similar to how you have a token that you enter online. Each time you use it, you get a new unique identifier. So I'd encourage customers to tokenize their credit card with their financial institution. So even if you visit the spoof website and they capture your information, that is only good for one purchase. So it cannot be utilized again. Also, look for the S in the HTTPS. The S ensure that the site is secure. And also look on the right-hand far corner for a padlock looking
thing. Hold on, I have to jump in. Go back to the first thing you said.
Yes.
You said it can only be used for one. So every single time I'm going to order, I have to do something to the card again?
No, so if you tokenize the card, for example, for a subscription, you don't need to do anything at all. The website and the financial institution have protocols in place to ensure that the transaction goes through seamlessly. But similar, if you have multiple purchases to do on different websites, similar, just like how you'd have to enter the card information each time. Once you tokenize it, yes, you'd have to enter different information each time.
And you say if you see HTTPS, if you don't see the S.
If you don't see the S, it means that the site is not safe and secure. So do not enter your information.
And if you don't see the padlock.
And if you don't see the padlock.
But the scammers can do that too?
They're not. So 100% can morph themselves into that aspect of it, which is the saving grace. The next thing that I'll advise the general public to do is not to do a Google search for a website, because what they're doing is sponsoring the spoof website, and the spoof websites tend to appear at the top. So when you search for a particular e-commerce website, and person have an inclination for the first website I see that they click on it. So most times that might not be the legitimate website. So what they should do is to type the URL in, so www Amazon.com to ensure that you're going to the legitimate website.
This is something new?
No, not new. What they have done is just similar to iPhone, Samsung issue new devices every now and then. They have just done an upgrade to how it has been operating. But spoof website has been around for a long time. It also spoof website involves in phishing, smishing, and those type of activities. So it's definitely not new. What they have done is just put a little twist to it.
Have you seen cases like that here in Jamaica?
Yes, so a lot of persons have visited website. Their cards have been compromised. They don't know that is what caused it. But certainly, person is very popular.
Yeah.
On a lot of the popular shopping websites. I don't want to stereotype against any particular websites. I wouldn't.
Some people say because you tap the card, it is easier than if you swipe it. But you say no.
No. So if you tap so I recommend tapping and inserting. Tapping is the fastest and most secure way.
Most secure?
Yes.
But some people think the tapping is easier for them scam you.
No, there is no way that they can compromise your card via tapping. There was a video going around once where you see persons walking around and putting something close there. Fuzzy logics are another word, nonsense, nothing like that. It is the safest and secure way to go about doing a transaction because one, the card has to be within 4 centimeters of the contactless enabled terminal. That is uncomfortably close. No personal identifiable information is stored on the chip. And each time a transaction is processed, there's a unique cryptogram, meaning that what is used to authorize the transaction is unique. Each time the card is tapped, that can only be utilized once. So even if it's on a fake web contactless terminal, after they get it, they can't do anything with it. And they won't get sufficient information to go and make a duplicate card. So it is the safest and most secure way to go about doing transactions. So that is the way that I'd recommend for persons to do their transaction. Utilize the contactless feature of the card.
Yeah, I tap and then enter a PIN.
Yes, irrespective of the amount. I know persons, when you go places, they tell you if it's over 15,000 or 10,000.
Yeah.
If it's $1 million, tap it and then enter your PIN. That is the only difference. You have, based on, we're balancing customer experience and security. So as an industry, we allow for ease of transaction. Some you can tap without entering your PIN. But after a certain amount, once you tap, enter your PIN irrespective.
So you're suggesting that debit, credit cards, all of them?
All of them. Utilize the contactless feature. In fact, it's going to get, we are going a little bit further with wearables and phones and stuff like that. That is happening elsewhere in the world. So that is where Jamaica is going. So customer education is going to be key in ensuring that we educate the customers to know the do's and don'ts.
Yeah, I find that one of the things is once people become victims of online phishing, smishing, triangulation, they almost feel like there's no recourse. Like they'll say, oh man, they took my money and that's that. Or they may feel like, I can't believe I was tricked. What are you saying to people? Is there a way to recover the money?
Yes. Yes, so the financial so all financial institutions are mandated to have an independent investigation arm to conduct investigation into transactions. So once the financial institution does their due diligence and identify that the transactions are fraudulent, the customers have no part to play in it because there is friendly fraud that financial institutions should not be liable for. But once we do our investigation, identify that the customer play no part in it, then the financial institution will take the necessary steps to make the customer good, restore them back into a position that they were before the card was compromised.
What is friendly fraud? So
friendly fraud is when persons within your household, persons known to you, get access to your debit or credit card and utilize it online. Since COVID-19, it is the fastest rising fraud globally that we have seen.
Family
members, kids, friends. So a lot of the sites that are popular for friendly fraud are gaming sites. That's the number one.
Yeah.
Since COVID, when the kids were home, video games and stuff like those, persons utilize it.
I was told that one of my friends, he got scammed, and he said the bank told him that they knew who did it, but they couldn't tell him. Anything goes up?
So it's his credit card, and he has a right to know the information that, so on his bank statement, you will see certain information associated with it. If it's a sensitive investigation, then, you know, we have the Data Protection Act and stuff like those that we must, and if it's going before the court and things like those, you don't want to overly share and prejudice the investigation.
Yeah,
so
but if somebody scam me and I come to you as the bank or whoever, and you tell me, say, you know is who, then why you can't tell me?
The financial institution should provide you with as much information as possible to make you comfortable to know, even if it's a case of friendly fraud. But we are a little bit cautious with it because sometimes it gets a little bit out of hand, especially if it's somebody a little older in the household. We have seen situations where it tends to escalate and get violent. So what we try to do is to balance it. So we recommend the customers going to the police, and then we advise the police how to massage the information to the customer.
I didn't know it had a name.
Yeah.
Which one?
Friendly fraud.
I have a skit in my play about it, but I didn't know it was.
Oh, yes.
Friendly fraud.
Yes, it's friendly fraud.
Very, very well explained, sir.
Thank you.
Sister, I must hear you.
Tell her hello for me. He's my very good friend.
Yeah, man. Mr. Dane Nicholson, Chairman of the Jamaica Bankers Association's Anti-Fraud Committee.
After the break, triangulation. After the break, flowers blooming in stem.
Soon come.